Less than 3 weeks away from UFC's 13th visit to Rio de Janeiro, the card's lightweight headliner has hit a major roadblock. Rafael Fiziev, who has struggled with injuries in the past, has now withdrawn from the bout with an undisclosed injury. Ataman was set to face hometown star Charles Oliveira on October 11 at Rio de Janeiro's Farmasi Arena, the city's premier fight venue. Rafael Fiziev's withdrawal now leaves Charles Oliveira without an opponent, along with several other Brazilian fighters on the card. However, do Bronx fight remains the centerpiece, and the UFC has immediately launched a search for a short-notice replacement for the main event. Fortunately, several contenders remain eager and ready to step in. The loudest voice comes from UFC lightweight 8 Mateusz Gamrot. Conveying his readiness, he stated, "I am ready and hungry to jump in. Come on UFC." A 2-division former KSW champion. Gamer 23-3-0-1-NC last entered the octagon in May, securing a unanimous decision over Ludovic Klein. Since arriving in the UFC, Mateusz Gamrot has steadily built his reputation as a dangerous lightweight contender. His 2022 victory over number 2 ranked Arman Tsarukyan further bolsters his credentials, making him a compelling matchup for former champion Charles Oliveira. The Polish star had reportedly lined up a rematch, but Tsarukyan declined, citing respect and ranking considerations. The 34-year-old had already won over Rafael Fiziev in 2023. This shows he isn't someone to scoff at. Meanwhile, Frenchman Benoit Saint-Denis had also thrown his name into the mix. On the Ariel Helwani show 2 weeks ago, he openly discussed stepping in on short notice if Charles Oliveira or Rafael Fiziev had to withdraw. "I will accept any opportunities the UFC is giving me to fight somebody inside the top 10 and as soon as possible. I get that opportunity. I'm ready to step up and no, I'm even looking at Oliveira versus Fiziev. So if somebody gets injured," he had said. Saint-Denis is coming off a strong showing at UFC Paris, where he submitted Fighting Nerd star Mauricio Ruffi via rear naked choke in round 2. With BSD's grappling and relentless pressure leaving Ruffi with no answer, the God of War has firmly cemented himself as a rising force in the division. Now, all eyes turn to Dana White and the UFC matchmakers who will step in as Charles Oliveira's next opponent. The situation also raises tough questions, particularly given Rafael Fiziev's injury history. No point crying over spilled milk, right? But what about the hometown hero? Is Charles Oliveira in top form? The 35-year-old UFC veteran is coming off a brutal first-round knockout loss to Ilia Topuria at UFC 317. As a result, the defeat crushed his bid to become a 2-time lightweight champion, as Topuria's devastating combinations left do Bronx's no room to showcase his ground game. When the UFC announced that the Brazil card would be headlined by Oliveira, who is set to turn 36 on October 17, fans immediately began speculating, could this be the UFC's version of a farewell, like Dustin Poirier at UFC 319? Despite the speculation, Charles Oliveira seems unfazed by the chatter. Speaking to Sportsnaut, he said, "Honestly, people like to talk, right? A lot of people said it would be my farewell fight or that it was too soon. I just wanted to fight as soon as possible. I just wanted to be back inside the cage. I just wanted to fight in Brazil in front of my people. In front of my flag, in front of my family. That's what mattered to me. I just wanted to fight here again." And you saw the boom it was. The moment the fight was announced, tickets sold out right away. Charles Oliveira's words neither confirm nor deny the swirling retirement rumors, leaving his future in the UFC uncertain. Now, all eyes are on Fight Night 261 in Rio, where the outcome could ultimately decide the trajectory of his career. Until then, fans can only wait and watch as the days tick down.